Doesn't matter to me. Go ahead and take my camera out, though. It's frozen, and I don't want to restart.
I need to move my camera higher up. Yes. Okay.
Can y'all hear me now, Jinxie? Everyone, can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
We can hear you.
Well, I know you guys can hear me.
I can hear you on stream now.
Okay, cool. I got a new mic and I forgot to change the settings in Bang. So as I'm gonna state again, because I'm a totally pro streamer and I should have done that beforehand. But anyway, welcome to episode 2 of Hunter's Moon. The episode title today is Ashes to Ashes. I don't think we're doing a question of the day or introductions. I don't know. Did we decide? Yeah. Okay. So cool. I think we'll just dive right in. Papa's not going to be on stream today because for some reason his camera keeps freezing and it's being ridiculous and I don't know why. So yay for that. But anyway, so let's get started. I'm going to pass the torch over to Papa Bear.
All right, so where we left off, you were all walking in the Umbra, the spirit world, towards Cavella's village. As you're walking along, you see that it's becoming more corrupted, darker. The Umbra is always in shades of white and gray, but it's more black and just feels corrupt. The werewolves in the party notice it right away, but even the Inquisitor notices that as they get closer and closer to the village, something just seems wrong. And as you close in upon on the village, you do see a pool similar to the one that you jumped in at the village that you just left. And it's pretty much like through the looking glass. So you have to go into the pool once more.
Do we have to roll for this?
Yes, you will have to make a Gnosis roll, and somebody else will have to hold on to the Inquisitor.
Okay.
So who's going first?
I'm doing my roll as we speak.
Can we type the roll thingy in the Discord chat again?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my
And just to make sure, it's the number you have in Gnosis, correct?
Yes. Okay.
Just remember to exchange the 2 that's in there for whatever your actual numbers are.
Yeah. Hey, Papa.
I would say Renan's more focused today.
Seems like it.
Okay, so Eris, one success, more than enough to get through. Renan gets through no problem. Cerantius gets through no problem. And I'm going to presume that, and actually you need to roll 4 because we added more into Gnosis. I forgot to update that sheet because you had the updated sheet.
Fine. There we go.
All right, there we go. So yes, you have no problem getting through. Who is pulling the Templar through?
I can pull him through.
I was going to say I could grab him either way.
Okay. So as you emerge from the other side, literally you feel something brush against your skin as you're emerging from the pool of water.
All of us?
Yeah, the pool's kind of crowded right now.
Ugh.
What the hell is that?
I look down at my arm and I'm like, the hell was that?
And as you look down, the body of a small child is brushing against your arm as you emerge from the water.
Oof.
And the scene in front of you as you emerge, the air is thick with smoke. There's the smell of burning wood and flesh.
Hell is going on here?
Smoke's hanging low to the ground. And you see carnage everywhere.
Kavela, are you sure this was your home?
Pretty sure, yeah.
I need a perception roll from Cavella.
I just need to figure out what that is.
It's up at the top of the sheet.
It'll be under your mental attributes.
Yep.
And actually, I need to pull up the model sheet again so I can have something to look at.
Oh, wrong place. I give up.
Okay, so you were kind of disoriented when you first came out of the pool, but you see someone in the distance, a familiar person lying on the ground, lifeless. It's your mate.
I'm gonna walk over to him.
So are you doing a slow walk? Are you like hesitant? Are you running over?
I'm running.
So everyone sees Cavella just take off. She's running, and you can see a body lying in a central clearing. What strikes you as odd, though, is anybody following?
I'm gonna immediately take off just as far as security, make sure we're safe.
Okay. I need for anybody following. I need perception rolls from them.
I'm following just a slower pace.
Okay.
Give me 1 second.
Three D10s. They're Eris. I'm running 3D10s, not 3D20s.
Oops.
I mean, I like padding numbers and everything, but
How did that change?
okay. So yeah, Henry is still reeling from being dragged through the spirit world, so that's how we'll write that off. But Eris definitely notices. Renan notices. Cerentius. Perception roll.
Mine's in there.
Yeah, his is at the top.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, you definitely notice as well. Majority of the bodies, the way that they were killed, you would swear that there would be blood soaked into the earth. There's no blood.
Are the bodies are they burned or are they just
Some of them look like they've been torn to pieces. Others look like something's ripped out their throat.
Yet there's no blood.
But yet there's no blood. Like there's some high velocity blood spatter on, some of the wood frame of some of the buildings or some of the walls, but as far as large pools of blood, once the bodies come to rest, there's nothing.
I have a question about a roll.
Okay.
Would a roll in politics or etiquette be what I would roll for if I thought I knew what this was, if I thought I had seen it before.
Neither of those.
No? Even with all the spying and politics.
That would have nothing to do with this type of brutal attack.
Okay. That is not what I think it is.
All right, so Cavella, you approach, and his body's where you remember watching him fall. But his throat is completely gone, and he's completely drained of blood.
I'm gonna sit down next to him and I'm gonna run my hands over his face.
And then, probably about 15 feet away, almost underneath a small work table that's been overturned. Anybody who'd looked would swear that it was a broken doll. But upon closer inspection, it's a toddler.
I'm gonna walk over to it.
When you get there, like I said, the table's almost fallen over, but not quite. It's leaning up against the wall, what's left of the wall of the house.
Mm-hmm.
But the child's head is at an odd angle to the rest of the body. But it looks like somebody literally just tossed it to the side and threw it. Roll a perception for me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, one success. That's really all you need. The facial features are very familiar. The child looks like Cabela.
So I slowly turn and just kind of look at Cavella over my shoulder, and I just whisper to her, I'm like, did you have a child?
I'm just gonna look at her and nod. You can't say anything.
Sir Antius, you should find some shovels.
I'll get on it.
Inquisitor, you should make yourself useful and see if there's any survivors. I doubt there is.
I'll take a look.
All right. Renan, what are you doing?
I am going to follow Henry, but not walk with him.
Okay. Let me pull up the character sheet.
Because this is the village that he was with the people that destroyed it, right? We know that.
They were watching the village. They aren't the ones that destroyed it.
Yeah, but do we know that?
No, you do not.
Right.
All right. I need a perception roll from Renan. Because you being a werewolf, your senses can come into play as far as looking for survivors. One success. You only smell
shoot.
it.
What was I supposed to?
You got
it
it.
was. Sorry. Make sure I did the right thing. Was it perception?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I'm good.
Yeah, one success. The only things you smell here are smoke and death. Looks like they left no. As far as the village proper, there are no survivors. So as you guys go building to building, you also notice that there's nothing of value left either. As you go from house to house, there's no small trinkets, anything of value, any gold, anything like that. It looks like places have been ransacked as well. As you come across one building, looks like a storehouse, and you go inside. The smoke, it's kind of hazy with smoke. The fires have died down, so the structure's still sound, but you do see some charring on the wood. You notice that looks as if there's a werewolf, and even in death, he's still in his Krynos form, or his werewolf form, and he actually looks like he tore the head off of one of the attackers as he was being impaled.
Can I roll perception again?
Yes, you can. Very nice roll. The person that he was fighting is wearing nondescript black armor, but you do notice a small tattoo on the inside of the wrist. It's a dragon circling and biting its own tail. And he does have a pouch on his hip.
Have I seen that tattoo before?
Let me pull up your character sheet. Do you have a occult by any chance?
I don't remember. No.
I'll let you roll an intelligence check because you do live with Batty.
True. I have a 1 in Enigmas. Let's see.
Oh, okay. Intelligence and enigmas. There we go.
Okay. Or would it be, or is investigation better?
Enigmas for this.
Okay. So intelligence and enigmas. All right, got it. Now I just gotta find the right screen.
Just look for the screen that almost blinds you every time.
Yeah, I know.
It's not ringing any bells. But I mean, it does strike you that this might be important.
I'm gonna make a sketch of it so we can ask Batty when we come back. If we get back. I'm being optimistic.
Is anybody going to search the pouch?
Yeah, I'll search it.
Stick your hand right in there.
All right. So how are you going about searching the pouch? Are you going to remove it, cut it off of his body, and just dump it on the ground, or are you actually going to stick your hand in and rummage?
Well, I'll take it off him first. And yeah, can I just open it and dump the stuff on the ground?
Yeah. Okay. You dump the pouch on the ground. There's a couple of silver pieces, some coinage. There's also what at first glance appears to be parchment, folded into about a 3x4 rectangle. Of course, with the lighting in the storage room, you can't really tell it. There's also what appears to be bits of bone, teeth. And small vials. 3 small vials. 2 of which are filled with a red liquid. The last is empty.
So I'll ask Brennan if she knows what any of this is.
Do I know what any of that is? It sounds disgusting.
And
Can she smell it?
Well, yeah, you can roll a perception check. Well, you know one thing for certain, that's not parchment.
It's skin, isn't it?
It's human skin.
Gross.
Nice.
As far as the bits of bone and teeth, they're from different animals. Human teeth as well as werewolf teeth. And it looks like he was actually fashioning something out of the werewolf teeth, because it looks like the fangs have actually been wrapped in silver. So
The actual fangs were wrapped in silver?
yeah, it looks like he was starting to fashion some sort of
Like a-
jewelry out of the fangs.
Oh, okay. I was thinking more of like a weapon.
Oh, okay.
Did you open up the thing and dump it out, or did you cut it open?
He just opened the pouch and
I
then
just-
dumped it on
yeah.
the ground.
I'm gonna scoop it up, put it all back in the pouch, and just hang on to the pouch.
Okay, I need you to roll a rage check. You just touched silver.
Oops. Keep forgetting this is not vampire, and this is werewolf.
That's why I was worried about a weapon.
Okay, hold on. I gotta find my sheet here.
And actually, the sword that is on the ground next to the dead guy's hand is just a regular broadsword. So you feel your blood begin to boil. You did take 1 point of aggravated damage when you scooped it up. But you're starting to feel that need to change, and you're angry, and you need a target for that anger, and there's only one living.
Oh,
entity
Henry, you
in
poor
that.
thing. I'm just gonna look at him and tell him to run.
Yeah,
And I will run.
Yeah, when she looks at you, you can actually see the muscles in the face starting to twitch and bulge, and her face start to change, and her eyes change to those wolven eyes. Okay, and so meanwhile, for the rest of the group outside the storage area, you hear a door burst open, and are you yelling, or how are you run? Are you like, when you're running, are you yelling like in fear, or
Just run in.
Just running, mama.
So,
Run,
Alright.
Forrest.
so do we see our dear Inquisitor running out of the building?
Roll perception,
Everyone?
everyone. Oh wow, that is a hell of a success. Okay. So Saranchus is busy looking for, and he's probably already started digging the burial pit. So Eris, you hear the sound of an armored person running. Kavella, you not only hear the running, but you can actually hear growling coming from that storage building.
Oh, shit.
Very familiar growling.
Oh, fuck.
I leap up and I go and I grab the Inquisitor and just put him behind me and pull out my dagger just in case.
Okay. Kavella.
Can I summon my bow?
You can, however, that would not be my first reaction. You
Yeah,
have an item on you.
Why would I attack them?
Your neck. They're in
they're
between you and your
defending.
prey.
Yeah, they're
Well,
defending.
that's their mistake, I guess.
But you do have another item on you that can be useful as far as calming people down.
Oh, Mother's Touch.
Yes, you
Was
can.
that other?
Oh,
Okay,
no, not Mother's Touch. It was your other item. Let me pull up your character sheet real quick.
I'm blind.
Okay, so yes, you can use your necklace and actually bring her out of her rage.
Okay, then I'm gonna do that.
Okay, so are you approaching the storage room?
Yeah.
Okay, and Renan, so you've gone through your change. You're now in your werewolf form.
I'm like 6 feet tall now.
Your prey has taken flight. He's ran back into the center of the village.
Smart
And
boy.
you see Cavella approaching. So now I'm going to need an initiative roll from all 4 of you involved in this scene. So initiative is going to be perception and alertness.
So you need 2 different ones then, basically.
No, just
Yes, those.
combine them.
Yeah, just combine those numbers. So if you have, and let me bring that back up. So you would need to roll
7.
7 dice. Yes. Okay. All right, and Cavella goes first. So what I'm going to need for you to do is to roll your gnosis. So you have 4d10 to roll. Okay. And Renan, I'm going to need you to roll your rage. Okay. So the necklace did not work. You may have to get closer to her. You don't know. This is the first time you've ever really tried to use this. So
I don't bite.
Okay, then.
Yet. So she's still enraged. She's still in her werewolf form. So Renan, you were actually tied with Eris, but Eris is more in a guard position in regards to Henry. So what are you going to do? There's somebody in between you and your prey.
Can I just say real quick? Sitting here digging this grave, I stop and I'm just watching all of this happen.
Aren't you supposed to be the security of the group?
No, I'm leaning on the shovel, just watching. Just
Wow.
waiting to see what happens. Still keeping an
Full
eye out to
belly
see what's
rub.
going on around us. I'm just watching. Not getting involved.
He's like, I don't get involved in girl fights. This is,
Not getting in the middle.
All right. So Renan, what are we gonna do?
I know what I want to do, but it really isn't the best thing to do.
But you're enraged.
I know.
So rational thought is kind of gone out of the window.
I'm gonna roll stealth and see if I can get around Eris.
Okay, so you're gonna go around Cavella and back to try to get around Eris.
Yeah,
Okay.
by trying to get in the shadows somehow. It's my stealth.
Okay. Eris, she's trying to maneuver around you to get to Henry, so I'm going to need you to roll a perception.
Okay. Also, I don't remember, what is Blur of the Milky Eye?
It helps you blend into a crowd. There's not
Right.
really a crowd here.
I have that too. It's a good one.
Okay. Yeah, she attempted to get around you, but you keep her in your line of sight.
And all I do is I just kind of look back at Henry and I'm like, what in the bloody hell did you do to her?
I didn't do anything. She touched the things in the bag and then went all cuckoo.
What bag?
The bag that was on the guy who killed the wolf in the storage room.
Did you hit your head?
I haven't hit anything, okay? I've seen a lot of crazy shit today.
I don't think that we're
Just-
done
just-
seeing crazy shit. Just stay behind me and whatever you do, don't aggravate her more.
Yes, ma'am.
And this doesn't make us friends.
Okay.
Wow.
Yes, it does.
All right, and Henry, I needed an initiative roll for you. Did you roll? Yes, you did. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is now your turn anyway. So what are you going to do? You still have this angry werewolf looking like she wants to eat you.
I'm just gonna.
Actually, how are you reacting right now? Because she's in full wolf form. This is the first time you've ever seen a breathing one.
Yeah. I might have pooped myself a little bit, but I don't think I
So
have to
that's
roll
what
for
that smell was.
Yeah, you got sensitive smell. I know that. But no, I'm just staying behind Eris and just yeah, I'll wait and see what happens.
I am going to make a suggestion. You have something on your character sheet. True faith.
I have what?
Didn't we take true faith for your character? Oh, wait a minute. No, you took that all in backgrounds for your sword. Let's see. I thought you had it.
I have Sanguine Hymn and Transfiguration of Flesh. Can't remember what either of them do.
Okay. And never mind. So, yeah, you're just going to continue watching?
Yeah.
All right. New round. So, Cavella, are you going to try to get closer and to use your necklace again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Getting
So-
closer.
Go ahead and give me another Gnosis roll. Okay. And Renan, give me a Rage roll. Okay, so you see Cavella, she's got her pendant in her hand, and you actually see a glow peeking out from between her fingers. And when she looks at Renan, you see them lock eyes, and Renan, you actually feel yourself begin to calm. Like you feel yourself, the beast inside is actually calming to the point where you actually change back into your Hamid form.
You're muted.
Sorry, I said, damn it, I'm short again.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, so you're no longer enraged. However, your hand is burning like hell from where you touched the silver.
You would have thought I would have had gloves on. Just looking through my stuff real quick.
Can I use Mother's Touch on that?
I
Yes, you
took the
can.
medicine out. Fuck.
Okay, then
Yes,
I'm
you
gonna
can.
do that.
And I need another Gnosis roll. I'm going to say no successes because of that one, so I'm going to say you probably exhausted yourself just calming her down. We can always attempt to heal it again later.
Okay, dokie.
So, all right. So now you're
Can
in the
I
day.
try healing it?
Actually, yeah.
What do you got? Wow. Show
Is
off.
anybody like talking to me, or is everybody just like
We're
Just
all
doing stuff to
kinda-
me.
No, we're all just
Trying to-
Give
staring
me a
at
pulse,
you.
bitch.
And like as Henry moves around me to go to you, I literally just kind of grab up the back of like his tunic, and I'm just like, "Be very careful. She might still eat you."
But so you're going. How are you healing her? You just laying on hands, saying a prayer. How are we doing this?
I don't know. Whatever the best way is to heal her. Wrap a
Um,
bandage around it. You know?
rub it in the dirt
Band-Aid.
and then spit on it?
You try that, but it doesn't work. This wound isn't. You've never really seen the like before, because this is a supernatural wound. So regular. I mean, you clean it. It's not going to get infected. You don't have to worry about that. But as far as actually healing it, it's beyond your capabilities right now.
Well, there you go. You won't get an infection.
Good thing I'm ambidextrous. Which
No.
hand is this?
Will one of you please tell me what the hell happened?
I was upset.
Obviously.
Why were you upset?
She touched silver.
That's not why I'm upset. Don't speak for me.
I think
And
that might
open the
be why
bag.
she's upset.
And I pour it out a little bit and I just show them the teeth, the werewolf teeth. 'Cause I don't give a shit about the rest of it. They were going to make jewelry out of it.
Oh.
And then in the daylight, you see what you had thought was parchment, but it's got that wonderful pinkish hue.
Is that made of...
Yes.
Oh.
Is it got writing or anything on it? Do I need to roll?
Well, it's still folded up. Nobody bothered to open it.
Somebody put on some motherfucking gloves this time and open this thing.
I have gloves on.
Oh.
And I just hold up my hand to her and I'm like, hand it over.
Oh yeah, it's got that wonderful like tanned leather smell to it.
I just kind of like pinch it between my fingers and I like slowly unfold it and I'm like, whoever created this is very, very nasty. And I open it up and I kind of just lay it on the ground flat and all that so everyone can see it.
Okay, so it's got about 8 creases in it. That's how, to give you an idea how big it is. It's actually probably about 12 by 18 once it's fully unfolded. And it's a map.
Is it of the region?
It is of the region.
Are there any specific markers?
There are, and you can see where this village is. You also see your village marked, and like 6 other known werewolf villages within the next like 100 miles are all marked.
Oh gods.
And you see some odd symbols. You're not familiar with the script. Well, actually, hold on. Let me look at your character sheet. You
I
might
don't have a
something.
cult.
Okay.
I already looked.
You already thought of that.
Yeah. Does anybody have a cult?
I have one in a cult.
Do
I have
any-
2.
Do any of you recognize those symbols?
I don't know, do I?
I don't know. Do you?
Okay, so Ginger, you said you have 2 in occult?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so intelligence and occult.
I need to
and
find intelligence. There is. Okay, so 4.
4 then.
Okay. All right, so you recognize some symbols, but the symbols that you recognize are almost like the werewolf runes, but they're symbols for some of the different changing breeds. There's some you see symbols for the Garou, which are the bears. You also see symbols for the Vulpine, which are the foxes. And also what looks like a small sun, that's the symbol for the Korax, or the birds, or the crows. Henry, what you see during your initial drafting, it jogs your memory. When the Inquisition first approached you, there was a couple of symbols, one of which you do see in the lower right-hand corner, and it's actually in a wax seal. But it's the same thing that was tattooed on the back of the guy's wrist. It's a dragon eating its own tail. And then off to the side, you see what looks like a cracked mirror. But when you asked them about those symbols, they told you that it was nothing for a young one one such as yourself to worry about. You're not high enough rank to worry about vampires.
Oh.
To which you were probably thinking they had lost their mind, because those are just myths.
So are werewolf.
So, but no, Cabela and Henry both recognize different symbols from the map.
And are they saying this out loud? What they recognize?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll point to the one that like says means vampire and just be like, that means vampires, but I mean, yeah, do
What?
with that information what you will.
What, you don't think they exist?
Right now, I don't know what
As
I
of-
believe exists anymore.
As of 10 minutes ago, you probably couldn't think that we existed.
Sister, you are right. I had no idea what to expect, and I have no idea what to expect going forward. So let's just go with the assumption that everything exists, and yeah, let's go from there. That's a good start.
Someone should get the human a drink. I think he might need one. These are all the werewolf villages. that are marked here. And the bodies are without blood. I think it's fair to make an assumption that the vampire may actually be coming out of hiding. And
How
they're
far
not-
away is the next village?
Our
Your
home.
village is the closest one.
Okay, we need to get back now.
But I don't think it would be respectful to leave the dead in this state.
They're not going to get any more alive. And our people might be dead if we don't get there in time. I'm leaving. You all can stay. Batty has no one to protect her.
So, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say I'm already done with the graves for Cavella's mate and child. We can at least put them to rest, then go.
I just have a little side note question. Would werewolves really bury their dead?
Actually,
Why wouldn't they set them on fire?
They would burn them.
Well, we can burn them in the pits. It's fine.
Burn them, bury them, whatever. I think
Wow, it seems disrespectful to bury them. Bury bones. Like good doggies. Anyway, we need to go home.
Okay, so are we at least burning or putting them on the pyres?
Well, I can take 2 others and just go. And you guys can finish here.
You can all go, and I'll take care of the villagers.
No, you're a fighter.
You're a human as well. And
Be disrespectful to our kind.
It would be a little disrespectful. He's coming with me.
I'll stay behind and help take care of these.
Yeah, but you're a fighter too.
You're one of the warriors as well.
Then who's gonna stay with Cavella?
Either me or Eris will stay. Don't care which. But somebody's got to go, and somebody's got to protect Batty.
A perception and alertness. I mean, a perception and roll from everybody.
Perception and alertness?
No, just perception. No, perception and alertness. That works. Yes.
perception
alertness.
and alertness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oopsies.
Okay.
Not D19s, D10s.
Cool. You all succeeded. You're all talking about and making your plan on what's going to be done with the bodies. You all hear something coming from the edge of the woods. It sounds like footsteps. I mean, it's more familiar for Renan because of Batty's club foot and how she tends to drag that foot when she walks. But it's almost like a shuffle.
I'm gonna turn and look at the forest.
You see this creature emerge from the forest, and the first thing that can come to mind is patchwork. You see a human torso, but a werewolf right arm. A human head, and then a human arm with a werewolf arm sewn at the wrist. Looks like a patchwork man. And he's shuffling from the forest, and he's got not really a, it's almost a vacant gaze, and you see him tilt his head back, and he begins to scent the air.
We need to kill that, whatever that is.
And then you see his gaze locked directly on the five of you. and he starts to run.
Roll for initiative.
Yes, initiative, perception, and alertness.
You need all of them?
Perception and alertness, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, just those? Okay.
Okay. 1, 3. Okay. So, Eris is going first. So you see this thing ambling out, and he's charging you. What are you gonna do?
I pull out my bow and knock an arrow and point it at him and call to him, and I say, "Identify yourself."
And you get as a response. And he's still charging.
Do I see any distinguishing pack markers on him?
You see a brand in the center of his chest, and it's a dragon eating its tail.
I fire.
Okay, so I need you to roll a dex and archery. Alright, and I'm rolling dodge roll for him.
As much as he's ambling, I don't know if he could actually dodge.
He almost does. Your arrow does strike, but he was almost able to dodge out of the way. However, you did do damage to him.
Okay.
So, Cavella, it is now your turn.
Do you want my damage?
What's the damage on your bow? I'm sorry, I forgot.
This is 2.
Okay.
I'm gonna do the same and get my bow out, basically.
Okay. And go ahead and roll your dex and archery.
My dex?
Your dexterity and
Dexterity.
archery.
I actually had to find it.
You have 7 to roll, so. Question: are you activating your bow's special ability?
Yeah.
Okay. So roll a gnosis check for me real quick. Beautiful.
Ow.
All right. So the way this plays out, you see Eris, the creature, and he doesn't respond, so she shoots an arrow at him. It hits him in the shoulder. You see Cavella take aim, and as she takes aim, her bow begins to glow, and she strikes this creature in the center of that brand, and you actually see the arrow, once it initially struck, bite even deeper into the creature and explode out of its back.
Oh, that's gross.
Mm-hmm.
Ew. But
And
cool.
he staggers a bit, and then he falls.
So we're gonna go up and see what he is cautiously.
Cautiously, and then I would say burn it.
call.
And then I'm thinking that we need to get out of here as quickly as possible.
So who's examining the body closely?
It should not be me. I'm a fighter.
Closely? How close do you mean by closely?
Like, okay, like, are you actually
I'll go up and
inspecting
make
it?
sure. I will go up and make sure if it's alive or not in a guarded position.
Okay, I can just see Sarantius kick it with the toe of his boot a couple times. Yeah, it's dead.
Yeah, I just kind of walk up and like with like the tip of my bow, I kind of just poke it a little bit, and I'm like, "The fuck is this thing?"
Would this
Okay.
be an intelligence and investigation roll or a wit
Yes.
and investigation roll?
Intelligence and investigation.
All right.
While they do that, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna grab my kid and put him in one of the graves.
I think we determined that they would go on pyres, but yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Put him
one
on the
thing-
pyre then.
You can definitely see that he looks like odds and ends that were stitched together, but you have no idea how it was alive, because literally once you get up close, you can see that there's decay and putrefaction on the pieces.
So this thing was dead at one point in time, or rather, its
Yeah.
pieces were.
Yeah, literally, it looks like pieces of corpses stitched together, almost like a skin, almost like a flesh column.
Have I ever heard Batty talk about it or seen any of Batty's books that talk about this sort of thing?
Okay, since you're trying to remember it, give me an intelligence roll. Actually, yeah, it does. It does ring a bell.
Is it black magic?
Yes, very dark magic. And actually, you feel like you need to check the werewolf pieces.
Oh, God. Okay. Perception?
Yeah, perception. Your investigation.
4.
Okay. So you're actually checking the werewolf pieces, and there's a tattoo, and it's a familiar symbol. A perfect black spiral. And it looks as if this, whatever werewolf this belonged to, was diseased before it died and was stitched onto this creature. Like the fur is mangy.
Trying to remember what I know about what I read before, like after last week's game.
So, as she's kind of staring at this piece, I just kind of peer over her shoulder, and I'm like, didn't Batty mention something about spirals? Brennan?
I'm thinking.
That Cavella, are you placing the child's body next to your mate's?
Yeah.
Tainted.
So as you're doing that, and you place your child next to your mate. You get almost a calming sensation wash over you, and then when you look up, you actually see the spirits looking at you. Your mate raises his hand in greeting, and then takes your child's hand as they turn and walk off into the distance.
Do we see this, or is this just her?
Is anybody else next to the pits?
I don't think so, no.
Okay, then nobody else would see this.
I just kind of look over my shoulder and see that the pits have been lit, and I turn back to the rest of the party and I say, I think we should go.
It is probably time we get going and get back.
Yeah.
Cavella, what are you? So you've just seen this. So what are you doing?
I'm gonna kiss him on the forehead, and then I'm gonna light it on fire. Since she saw it be lit, so.
All right. So, are you all Are you all going to go overland, or are you going to go back through the bloody water? That's what I need to know.
Eh.
We need to go back
bloody
to the
water's
bloody
faster.
water.
The bloody water's faster.
Okay.
I look at Eris and I just keep thinking of this word, so I just tell her tainted.
Tainted what? Tainted blood, tainted bodies, tainted...
No, something about I can't quite get it, but something about the werewolf arm with the mangy fur, tainted.
I mean, you work with Batty, and...
She talks a lot. I can't keep it all straight.
I know. That's not what I'm saying, but
just... It's something.
Has any of her, for lack of a better term, chaotic writings ever mentioned anything about a mangy wolf? I've never seen one. I mean, I haven't spent many years alive, but you know.
We're gonna have to ask her.
What would make a wolf mangy? I know
Just
when we
keep
get
hearing the
ill,
word tainted.
I know when we get ill, we can't shift.
What makes them mangy? Poor personal hygiene. What?
Keep it in character.
Let's just get back and ask.
Yeah, we should go.
All right, I'm not going to make you guys roll Gnosis to enter into the pool this time. You guys make it in. And honestly, once you go in, you actually feel a difference now. Almost like some of the taint that you saw in the spirit world has lifted a little bit since the bodies were laid to rest with respect. And you dealt with that creature. So, you're not feeling that ominous presence in the Umbra right now.
Perhaps we killed the ominous presence.
So, the trip back is relatively uneventful. You stay on the path, everything's fine. You do see different spiritual entities off in the distance. But the trip back is rather uneventful.
Okay. We should probably break here.
Yes, ma'am.
So, everybody, just sit tight. We're gonna take a quick break.
Get up,
And
stretch your legs, drink
get
some
up.
water.
Yeah, like he said. So just sit tight. We will be back. Okay. Nobody cried, so I mean that was a good thing. Yeah, I was. Some of those scenes made me kind of queasy. Yes. BRB for me as well. Freezing at all. What? Oh my gosh. Was Yuri being a shit and being really loud? I was just like, what? Yeah, it was just like, is somebody just dropping shit on their desk? Is that what's going on? Because he wants to be, he wants to be a good boy, that's why. And he's like, if I ask, then I'm a good boy. Ugh, is James back? Okay. Is everybody ready? I don't know if Amy's back. Oh, okay. Well, it's snack o'clock. Well, I'll give you guys a couple more minutes and to finish your snacks so you can turn your cameras back on. It is. I know you don't care. I don't know if Yummy. Nice. Well, I mean, it's just the twitches of Eastwick. Witches of Eastwitch. That's it. I'll do tequila shots for you, but not Jaeger bombs. Ugh. All right, you guys ready? I've had pine sap before, and it's gross. James, you want to turn your camera back on? Cool. You just had this look on your face and you're like licking your finger. It was great.
Oh, good lord.
Hi everybody, we're back. Some of our people are eating because, you know, it's snack o'clock. So if you have your snacks and your wonderful drinks or whatever you'd like, I'm glad you'll be with us for the second half of this. So, Game Master, take it away.
All right, so you exit out of the pool just outside of the village. It's fairly late in the afternoon. It's actually getting towards early evening. The sun will be down in probably about half an hour or so. It's that time of day. What are we doing once
I just rolled. Perception and alertness.
I mean, it's your usual thing, you know, children running through the center of the town, the center of the village, causing havoc. Mother's chasing after them. Dad's laughing, and the workday is done.
So nothing seems weird.
Nothing seems weird.
Maybe you should check the border of your village.
I'm going straight to Batty. I don't know what everybody else is doing.
I'm gonna go and get the elder, and Seratius, maybe get the head of the guards.
Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to the rest of the guards that we need to literally beef up security and be on high alert.
I'm gonna go with Eris.
Sounds good.
I'm gonna go to my horse and get my boat.
Okay. All right. So you get to Renan. You get to Batty's hut, and she's got some foul-smelling concoction brewing on
Of course she does.
the cook fire. Of course, she's just humming her strange little tune to herself, not really paying attention to anything.
I'm going to get a piece of parchment and something to write with, and I'm going to try to draw the dragon eating its tail and ask her to come look at it.
Okay, so I need you to roll. Pull up the character sheet again.
What am I rolling?
Intelligence and crafts, if you have it.
No, nothing in crafts.
Okay, so intelligence.
Apparently I'm drawing a stick figure dragon.
She shuffles over and she's, is that supposed to be something?
Can I draw like a spiral at least? Hell, a 3-year-old can do that.
You start to draw the spiral and she goes, stop that. That's a bad omen.
Well, I got something to tell you.
I don't know if I want to listen if it's bad.
Batty, I need you to focus. This
I'll
is important.
do my best.
I basically tell her about the teeth and the parchment and the weird zombie halfway werewolf human thingamabob we killed.
Don't
Do you
forget to
tell
ask
her-
about the mage.
Oh, I keep telling. Well, she knows about the spiral. I think that's connected.
Ooh. Well, at least it was only part of a dancer and not a full one.
What do you mean, dancer?
Those who dance the black spiral.
Batty, are they werewolves? Are they dangerous? What are they?
We don't talk about them.
We have to talk about them because they're coming to our village.
Fine. Watch the pot and make sure it doesn't burn. And
She's going to do drugs, isn't she?
She might need to after this conversation.
I may need to after this conversation.
She shuffles off and she comes back, and where normally if she has any type of paperwork or scrolls to dig through, they're all disorganized. This is actually a tome. Like, this is a book. It's about 18 inches long, about 12 to 14 inches wide, and is about 8 inches thick. And it's ornate. It's actually, like, the edges are gilded, like, and it has a lock on the actual tome keeping it shut. And she just walks over to the table and drops it.
God.
Like a substitute teacher waking up a sleeping student. And then Now the key. Where did I put the key?
It has a key.
It's locked. And it's actually got a padlock keeping the tome shut. And she rummages for a second and she pulls out this small bronze key and unlatches it. When she opens it up, the pages are vellum.
And for those in
Very
the
orn-
studio audience that don't know what vellum is,
it's actually sheepskin that has been stretched really thin. It's very expensive. This is actually an illustrated manuscript. Somebody spent years compiling this book. And she flips through, and most of it's in werewolf runes. And she pulls it up, and there's an image, and it's a symbol for a tribe that you don't recognize.
Is it the dragon?
No.
No.
And she starts telling you the legend of the White Howlers. They were a tribe from the British Isles, very mystically inclined, and steadfast fought against the corruption of the worm. And they performed a ritual. And this ritual consisted of dancing the spiral. But they were unable to complete the ritual and fell into corruption. And the entire tribe was lost. And they became the Black Spiral Dancers.
Lost dead? Or another world lost? Or
Corrupted. Tainted.
tainted? There's that word.
Now, there are legends that one day a White Howler will reemerge that's untainted and has not fallen prey to the spiral. But she has no idea when anything like that is going to happen. She says the Inquisitor's deity is likely to return before that happens. So, and then she flips past that, and she's like, now, what did the other symbols look like?
And instead of trying to draw it like a slightly handicapped 2-year-old, I just tell her it's a dragon eating its tail.
And she flips, she actually takes a bookmark and she slides it and then flips to that page. And you see a depiction of an armor-clad knight or warrior, and the pennant the flag that he's holding is a red serpent eating its own tail, or a dragon eating its own tail.
I ask her if there's anything in the book that talks about the hodgepodge man we saw.
I have to roll for her, so give me a moment. Because it's Batty, and yeah.
Batty's got focus on today.
Batty
did
must
her
have had
drugs.
She's like, it's a flesh column.
She always says stuff to me like I know what she's talking about.
They took a little of him, and 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 they sewed it all together, and then Put a spirit in it.
Ew.
For what purpose, though?
Shock troops. Guardian.
Attack us. I don't think it's a guardian.
But you're sure you saw this symbol? Was there anything else?
There were other symbols that I didn't see. That Cavella saw and Eris saw. Or maybe Henry. Not sure who was looking at it.
Looking
I'm
at
going to go find them and bring them.
I'm more confused than I ever am.
Hold
Should I
on.
just dump out the pouch on the table?
I was gonna say we had to change the region to see if we can get this Discord to cooperate.
So you dump out the pouch. Who
Yeah.
has the map?
I
Is
do.
it back in the pouch? Or you took the map?
Yeah, I took them out because I took it.
Oh, then she has the pouch then, so we'll have to go.
I never
find
put.
her.
I never put it back in the pouch. I just.
Okay, so you
That's
have the
right.
pouch. You dump the pouch out, and there's the teeth and other stuff. And she's like, "That's disgusting."
Truly. I'll be back in a minute.
Fucking baddie.
All right, so Sarantius, you gather the guard, Eris and Cavella. You go to the chieftain's house.
Mm-hmm.
He's looks like he's working in a ledger when you arrive, because it's about that time of year when the taxes are due to be collected.
Okay.
He
So-
he sees you approach. Eris, Cavella.
Sir, we have a problem.
Is this going to be a one-drink problem or a barrel problem?
I would say barrel.
I would go with barrel.
Go ahead, have a seat.
So I sit down and I pull out the folded map, and again I use gloved hands and slowly unfold it, corner by corner, and just till 2 fingers only, because ew.
Is it just me, or does that parchment have a mole?
This is made of flesh. We found it in the other village. So before we continue, let me explain to you what we saw. When we arrived, the Umbra pool was red, tainted with bodies and blood. And when I emerged from the pool, there was a child that touched me. It was dead. And as we walked through the village, there were bodies everywhere. Everything had been drained of blood. Bodies had been ripped apart and opened. And the buildings had been burned and ransacked. Some of the kin ended up... They were murdered in horrible ways. And some of our own, they tried to fight off the attackers. We have come to believe that possibly the attackers were vampires. We're not 100% sure on this, but there's mounting evidence to prove it of that nature. This was found on one of the attackers that had been killed by a wolf. As you can see here, it is a map of the area. All of the wolf villages and others are marked. And from what we have determined these are the other supernatural entities' markings and where they can be found. Ours is marked.
What did you do with the bodies of our kin?
When we found the map, we didn't have time to, or we didn't think it was prudent at this time to give them proper rights. We waited. We decided it would be best to wait and come inform all of you first.
You guys put them in pyres and burned them before you left, honey.
No, we
That
only
was just,
the mate and the child.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Only her mate and her, and that was it. Yeah, mate and child. The only ones that were disposed of were Cavilla's mate and child.
You say vampires.
I point to the marking of the dragon eating its tail. From everything that our Inquisitor friend has told us, that he was told before he left the church, I suppose, that they told him that this was the mark of vampires. Lack of blood in all of the bodies, other than the pool, leads me to believe that this is their work, and not the work of the Inquisition. It seems, Elder, that we actually have two foes now.
Okay, cut from you. Sarantius, you do arrive at the guardhouse. Pretty much everyone's just kind of milling about, because, I mean, this is a quiet town.
Yep.
You know, you guys have maybe 6 people who are assigned to the guard, and that rotates out depending on who draws the short straw. But you do find the head guardsman, and he's just sharpening his sword, you know, making sure all of his equipment's in good order before he goes out on patrol.
Well, I'm glad you're sharpening that shit because it's about to get real.
What
Now,
are you
so-
on about?
Look, we just went over to the other village that wherever that wolf came from. We went into their village to check it out. It's leveled. Everyone, they're gone. No blood, no nothing. Everything I overheard, they think it's vampires. And there was a map.
You've
Our
been
village was
drinking,
on it.
haven't you?
Absolutely not.
You've been drinking because you're talking fairy tales.
We need to get ready. They're talking to the village elder right now. We need to be alert.
He sheathes his sword. I swear, some days, I think it's your mission to give me a headache.
Just because I didn't grow up here doesn't mean I want to cause you problems.
Well, let's go visit the chieftain before they fill his head with fairy tales and nonsense.
I'd rather you hear it from him than me.
So, Henry, it's been a little while. You've gathered your bow, your quiver. What are you doing?
I am just stood, I guess, at the gates of the village and just looking out over the land, keeping an eye out.
Okay. People are milling about. They, start lighting torches around the village because starting to get dark. And as you're looking out and the darkness begins to fall, I need you to roll a perception and alertness for me. Perfect. You see a fog begin to roll in. Just kind of coming from the trees, hanging low to the ground. And for a split second, you swear you saw red eyes glowing from within the canopy of the trees.
So I will probably just call for Ceramtius, and as I do, I'm gonna knock an arrow to my bow and light the arrow on fire and just fire it at the edge of where the eyes were, just hoping it gives a little bit of light through the fog.
Okay. I need you to roll your dex and archery. And I'm going to mute myself while my dog goes crazy for a second.
You guys are probably also hearing my dogs, possibly very faintly. They're in the hallway for some reason, and they seem to be very rambunctious. I think they're trying to get my daughter to play.
Oh.
I apologize for that. Okay, so the arrow, it flies, gets to about the edge of the forest, and a gust of wind actually blows it slightly off course and extinguishes the fire.
Ooh.
But it does make it almost all the way to the edge of the forest. But you don't see the eyes anymore. Okay. Renan, what are you doing right now?
You're muted.
I was trying to find everybody to tell them what Batty said.
Okay, so you're headed to the chieftain's house then. You and Ceramtius and the head guardsman probably arrive right about the same time. When you enter in, you do see the chieftain sitting with Cavella and Eris. And they've got the map spread out on the table.
I
And
turn and look and see who's walked in, and I look at Renan. What did Batty say?
Well, she's heard of some of it, but I think she needs to see this map. There's symbols on it, but I think she should see. She's talking about the worm and taint and freaking taintedness and them being gone, but there's a prophecy of one coming. It's just a lot. Prophecy of one coming back. But she asked about other symbols, so when you're done with the map.
I think that we are done with it. Elder?
I almost wish the old bat were here with you right now. And you hear chuckling from the doorway. I'm always where I'm supposed to be when I'm supposed to be there.
God damn it, bad.
Of course she is.
Please, you're almost illiterate anyway.
Wow.
And she shuffles closer, and she's got that enormous tome, and she drops it, and it's still on that page with the warrior holding that banner. She's like, I mean, they could have at least taken the hair out of the mole before they turned it into that.
Ew.
And she's... Okay, so... Vulpines, Garou, us, Fairfolk, and... Oh, you didn't mention the broken mirror.
Didn't realize the broken mirror was part of it.
She flips a couple of pages past that, and then you see the depiction of a jester holding a broken mirror.
Does that mean anything to anybody but Batty?
It might mean something to somebody, but he's currently at the gate, watching the woods.
I look around and I'm like, where's Henry?
He's not my child.
Oh, God.
So where did you leave him then?
I get up and I go out to the center of the village and I look for him and I'm like, Inquisitor!
Please don't call me that, and don't shout it halfway across the village. It's gonna make me nervous, okay?
You're needed.
So I just... I'm assuming there are guards on the gate.
There's
Yeah.
always guards on the gate. Yes.
Okay. In that case, I just turn to one of them and just be like, say, keep an eye. Sorry, that was my phone. Keep an eye on the woods. And then I turn and head for Eris.
Why was your bow knocked?
I thought I saw eyes in the woods.
What color were they?
Red.
Oh, dear. We should hurry. I don't think what you saw was coincidence. I'm starting to think nothing is a coincidence anymore. So I kind of grab his arm and just kind of hurry him along back. And we come back in and I just kind of move him forward and I'm like, Batty has questions for you.
Oh, joy. More tea?
Just give him a
some of us
nasty
need
look.
clear head. Some of us need a clear head. It's fine. I've already had mine. Do you recognize these symbols?
I recognize the dragon one. I don't know what the mirror one is.
Question, do you have linguistics? I think you do.
Oh, for God's sake,
Yes,
is that
I
what
have
it
two.
is?
I think.
I
I have
have a
two in
4 in
linguistics.
linguistics. How do I not know what's going on?
I have linguistics as well.
Okay, so those
have
with linguistics, please roll as you're actually looking at this tome in detail for the first time.
I don't know shit. Is that supposed to be with intelligence as well?
Intelligence and linguistics, yes. I'm sorry.
Then I gotta roll
My
again.
bad.
Hold
Shit.
on.
I had a 27.
The number doesn't matter. I just need to see the rolls.
What?
Okay, yeah, he knows. Okay, good.
I know
No,
everything.
Eris is still like it looks familiar, but not really. Let's see, Renan.
I'm re-rolling.
Yep,
There we go.
You know what it is. You have a base understanding of it. All right, and Cavella knows what it is. All right, cool. It's an Aramaic.
Okay. Well, he should know more than we do.
But it's in Aramaic. Like you can piece together like parts of it. But yeah, no, it's in Aramaic, and it's talking about something called Zemis. And it mentions it being a family of vampires.
From where?
Romania.
That would explain why it looks familiar, but
And the page with the broken mirror, it says Malkav.
as in like Malkavian?
Yes.
Yeah, but would you know that?
No, she wouldn't.
I wouldn't know what that is.
But it does say Malkav, and that insanity reigns wherever the descendants of Malkav follow.
So we have vampires and insane vampires. Okay.
Splendid.
And I mean, the book actually gives some detail about, some quirks. For example, Zemis always can't stray too far without having their native soil around them. Of course, the Malkav and his descendants being batshit crazy. But I mean, there's actually information on like 3 other different groups of vampires in here as well.
Do we see any other
But-
names?
You hear of Bruja, Ventru, and Toreador. But then there's actually several missing pages that look like they were ripped out at one point in time.
Fatty, where did you get this
Yes.
book?
I found it.
Where?
Oh, see, my first village, they didn't care for me, medicine such. So I went wandering, and I found an old castle, and went exploring.
What did you see in the old castle?
Cobwebs and dust, lots of dust.
I mean, anything particularly, I don't know, vampiric?
Oh, there was a body in a coffin.
Ew. Why are vampires so gross?
There was a body in a coffin. It didn't get up and say hi.
Oh.
Have any of us ever seen a vampire, or
No,
is it just legend to us?
it's
It's
just legend.
Batty being batty.
Mm.
Right.
I'm going to ask Henry, what does your kind know about this?
I don't know. Like I said, they were. We were told they were just myth, and I wasn't high enough rank to know anything else. I'm assuming they must know something, but if that information exists, I don't know where it would be.
You might have to say that again. I was
Yeah, I
reading
did.
the region.
The mages might know.
Mages.
Oh, humans that practice magic.
Oh, yes, of course.
I'm gonna roll contacts and see if I know any. Would it be intelligence and contacts or just contacts?
Just contacts.
My father was, or is, a
Hold on,
collector.
guys. Sorry.
Puppies.
The puppies are bouncy and barky.
Puppies.
Bouncy, bouncy, barky, barky.
Mine are the complete opposite.
I know. I wish mine were as quiet as yours are right now.
All right.
This-
Sorry about that.
There.
It's okay.
All right.
So I was saying, my father is a collector of stories because that's what he does. So, would he have heard any recent stories that would pertain to this?
You would have to ask him.
Okay.
As far as your contacts running, you think that you know there might be one in the city, the nearest actual city. But that's just going on rumor that you heard from one of the caravans, the trade caravans that have come through. Because they had a shipment of very odd herbs and ingredients. That Batty was basically drooling over because she wanted them, and they said they were for another customer. But as far as whether your dad knows anything, you would actually have to ask him.
So, I get up to go do that, and I stop before I leave, and I turn back and I say, by the way, our human friend saw red eyes out in the woods before I brought him in. I walk back out.
I typed that wrong. Give me 1 second. Okay, so as you're walking out, you can see the gates from the end of the chieftain's longhouse,
Mm-hmm.
and you see the flames on the torches begin to waver, and then they gutter out.
Oh, shit.
And the fog actually starts creeping and rolling in from the gate and through the posts in the palisade.
Guys?
And you would swear that the temperature has dropped by about 10 to 15 degrees.
Daddy!
Do we hear her yelling?
Yeah. She's right there at the door.
All right. I'm gonna help Batty over to the door.
I'm gonna immediately run out of the house.
Same.
I'm drawing my sword.
It's colder, and I'm pretty sure that fog just extinguished our torches. Last I checked, that was impossible?
Nothing about today has been possible.
That's my perception roll.
Okay. Yeah. So, Henry, do you draw your sword when you
Yes.
exit the building?
Yes, I do.
Oh, dude, it's like Sting. Right
We have
now.
orcs. We have orcs.
Like it's doing that whole. Yeah, it almost hurts the eyes. That's how bright it's glowing right now.
I just kind of like shield my eyes away for a second. What is wrong with your weapon?
It's not for everybody.
Yeah. It glows red when it senses danger.
Evil, I thought.
Well,
That comes in handy.
evil.
Well, I mean, danger, evil, it's synonymous, right?
Oh, I guess it depends
Yeah.
on what side of the fence you're playing on.
I did write danger originally, but
Okay.
But you said evil last week.
Wow.
it's glowing red. Okay.
Yeah, I can see that. Yes, I think that we can now officially say that there is something wrong.
Yes. There is something out there.
The chieftain looks over to the captain of the guard. Get everyone into the Umbra as fast as you can. He looks at the 5 of you. And has a look of resignation on his face. Go to the Garou. Go to the Vulpines. And try to rally them to our cause. And you see the tattoos on his forearm begin to glow, and a sword forms in his grasp.
That's neat.
Gleaming silver.
You can't defeat them all.
And you say that, and you hear this cackle.
From him or from someone else?
No, from
Patty.
no.
Oh.
Oh.
And you see the mist kind of part, and there's a figure. And he's dressed in motley.
Like the picture we saw with the mirror?
Yes, actually. And his cloak is held with a brooch that looks like a broken mirror.
I think
And
I'm gonna go
he's-
out on a limb and say, what was the term? Malkavian? Or Malkov or something?
And you say that, and he bows. Arms outstretched. Not Malkav, but close. Let's see. I see 1 puppy, 2 puppy, 3 puppy, 4, 5, and an Inquisitor. Ooh. Aren't I supposed to be shaking in my boots? No, because we're of 2 minds about this. We'll make a bargain. Yes. We'll make a bargain. Your blood for eternal slumber. How about that? How does that work?
Yours or ours?
Well, if you don't have any blood, I guess it'd be yours. That's a good bargain, isn't it? And he's kind of dancing back and forth, you know, wringing his hands together.
Is there anybody coming up behind us as everybody's like watching him?
Perception and alertness, please.
All right. Well, I already did perception, but let me do perception and alertness.
Can I just knock 3 arrows and fire them all in?
I just kind of look at Henry and Batty and softly whisper, "How do you kill a vampire?"
Chop its head off.
Yeah, there's more than just him.
What are we surrounded?
In the in your peripheral, you can actually see another form coming out of the mist on either side. These, and when you actually look at them, their eyes are glowing red. They're more bestial in appearance. And their hands actually end in very long, very sinister claws.
Do they have any markings like he's got the broken mirror?
No.
Okay.
How far to the pool?
Oh, it's on the outside of the gate.
So we'd have to go past him.
Mm-hmm. And Renan, you feel this large hand on your shoulder as Batty moves past you, shifted into her werewolf form, and she thrusts the tome into your arms. And she just looks back and smiles a very wolfish smile.
Oh, fuck.
I don't like where this is going.
Uh-uh.
And she goes, "Remember, I made the pack, but the pack must make pacts." And then you see the chieftain shift in a split second, and both of them charge the jester.
Is this our chance to run?
I think this is our cue to run.
Mm-hmm.
And the jester starts cackling as he enters into the fray with Batty, and the two that were on either side both converge on the chieftain.
Well, we have to decide, guys, if we're running or staying and fighting.
I would say run.
I don't usually run from a battle, but I've never faced one of these, so I'm voting for running.
And you hear this deep baritone voice burst out in song, and it actually kind of bolsters the spirit a little bit, because it's a song in the Garou language, that the werewolf language that you all recognize, and it's about valor and battle. And you see this large black wolf go to help the chieftain, and it's a very familiar wolf, Eris. And he looks back right as he's about to go into the fray and says, "Go now."
At that point, I would literally scramble trying to get to him to stop him.
Is there any chance of us saving the village, taking them with us at this point?
As those 6 enter the fray and they start fighting, you see more of those abominations.
Jesus Christ,
Oh.
that scared the shit out of me.
I want to be part
Give
of
me
it.
kisses.
I join.
As those 6 start to fight, you actually see more of those abominations engaged with the guards at the gate. And
How many more?
You see some there, but you also see forms start to climb over the walls. And you actually see you see the captain of the guard with a bunch of women and children. And he's trying to hold off some that keep preventing him from getting to the pool and getting them into the Umbra.
Oh, my suggestion is we head that way.
Yeah, immediately.
Yeah, I would hear the screams and turn and look and stop and kind of be torn, but ultimately I would go and help Thee because, you know, the rest of the family doesn't desert this. And just say, you know, send some good words up to Gaia and hope that she can spare everyone that's fighting.
So you guys get to the captain of the guard. He's been wounded. He's still fighting, but he has been wounded. And there are 2 of those patchwork men. And then you see another one that has like the long claws. And he's actually, for the lack of a better term, barking orders at them. But he seems to be in control of those 2 patchwork men.
Well, I'm immediately going to take on one of the patchwork men.
Okay.
I'm going to pull out Fang.
Okay. I need everyone to roll a perception and alertness for me. This is for initiative. Okay, 2. Okay, so I roll first. Okay, so one of the patchwork men is going to attack Sarantius because I pretty much feel that he'd be one of the first ones into the fray. So, and he is basically just trying to hit you with a fist because he actually has no weapons on him. Or actually, no, he's trying to grapple. My apologies. Okay, you can roll a dexterity and dex and dodge check in order to avoid. You just have to beat 1 success. Yeah, you dodged that and made it look easy, so it's fine. And the other one, let's see, I'm gonna make him attack. Well, we'll make it random, so I can figure out who he's going after. On 6, he's attacking the captain of the guard. He's actually set his sights on Cavella.
Uh-oh. Who set his eyes on me again?
One of the patchwork men.
Flesh golem.
Okay, I'm gonna get my bow then.
Okay. Well, yeah, he is charging you, so you do have a chance. You do have a chance to get an attack of opportunity, for lack of a better term, because you are using ranged weapons. So go ahead and give me a dex and archery check.
If I can click the right buttons, that would be even easier.
Are you activating the special ability?
Yeah.
Okay, so I need a gnosis check.
I don't remember what my noses were.
4.
4.
Okay, so 1 success. So yeah, that does it. So you actually do. I think your bow. I gotta pull your character sheet back up. Okay, so you do 4 aggravated damage to him, but he is going to continue on his. That's not enough to deter him, so he is going to make his attack. You can roll a dexterity and dodge check. So you have 3 in dexterity and 2 in dodge. So if you roll 5d10. Perfect. Okay, you do succeed in dodging. And now it would be Renan's turn.
I'm gonna go for the guy who seemed to be controlling the 2 patchwork guys.
Okay. And how are you attacking him?
With my Kopesh. So that's what's. Is that dexterity
Dex-
or is that strength?
Dexterity and melee.
Okay, dex and melee. Where the hell's my melee? 4, 5, 6.
Four successes. I'm going to roll his dodge. And he does successfully dodge. Next is oh, I got it. Next is Eris.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Next is Sarantius. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna follow up an attack on one of the flesh golems. The one that I dodged.
Okay, that was definitely a hit. Give me 1 second. And the damage on your what are you attacking with, your broadsword?
Yes.
Okay, give me 1 second. All right, I've actually got to roll and see if he withstands the damage. Nice.
Awesome. Gotta love a glass cannon build. Until I die.
Okay, he actually does not withstand the damage. You dropped him.
Awesome.
Basically cleaved his head. Now it is Eris's turn.
Okay, I'm going to basically launch myself at the guy that's kind of controlling them, and I'm going to try to stab him with Fang. So I need to roll.
Question really quick. Since we're engaging them, are the villagers allowed to at least get some distance?
I was just about to mention that one of the other werewolves is actually leading them around the fray since you've distracted the three.
Okay.
So they're actually are making their way towards the pool.
Wow, I suck.
And that attack misses. And I'm going to roll his action. Because I actually was withholding his action. So you basically leap at him. He's going to basically try to catch you and drive you to the ground.
Sorry, everyone. The puppies are quite loud today.
That's because the 7-year-old is antagonizing them continuously. And he actually succeeds in grabbing you and slamming you to the ground.
Ouch.
So, now Henry, it is your turn.
So first I'm going to use Transfiguration of the Flesh.
And remind me what that does?
By means of this endowment, knights can bolster their reserves of strength or toughness, readying themselves for the battle at hand.
Nice, okay.
Okay. Spends a conviction point and rolls stamina and zeal.
Seal?
Zeal!
Is that the battle cry?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
Zeal.
It's a stamina and zeal roll, so
Okay.
rolls. The difficulty is 7.
You got 6. Oh, wait a minute, no, I got you. 1, 2, 5. Yeah, it worked.
Okay. Oh my days.
Wow.
I will be right back. You all continue.
This is so confusing. So it says I can add dice to the character's strength and or stamina ratings for the duration of a single combat. Each success gained on this roll translates to 1 die the player can add to either attribute.
So I would imagine you'd be adding it to your strength. That way, when you go to do damage.
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and roll your dex and melee. And which one are you attacking? Are you attacking one of the patchwork, or are you attacking the one that's currently distracted, holding Eris down to the ground?
The big one. What was I rolling? Strength and
Dexterity.
melee? Oh, dex. Dex melee. I also have a melee speciality. I don't know if that means anything.
Let me. Specialty in your longsword.
Yeah.
Okay, so. How many dots in specialty do you have in it?
3.
Okay, add 3 more die to that then. So roll again and roll 8d10 versus your 5.
Fuck.
Okay. So cinematically, just to give you guys an idea. So the vampire grabs Eris, drives her down to the ground by the throat after she leapt on him. He's distracted, and the knight with his sword glowing red charges, yelling out a battle cry, and with, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 successes.
It'd be 10 successes. No, 9 successes.
9 successes. Cleaves the head from said vampire. And actually the body, when it comes in contact with that blade, if anybody's familiar with the show Buffy the Vampire Hunter, watches the
It went poof
vampire,
into dust.
it went poof into dust, yes.
Love it.
The minute that happens, you actually see this ornate gold pendant with fall onto the ground. And when that happens, the remaining flesh puppet or patchwork man, his shoulders slump and he just kind of falls over.
I'm just laying on the ground and I'm kind of like wiping some of the dust off of me. And
Oh yeah, you might want to spit a little bit because you might have got some vampire dust in your mouth.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like wiping. Like I go to wipe it off my tongue and I'm like, it's on my hands, it's everywhere. I'm like,
It's in my mouth.
Feel like you've kissed an ashtray. Anyway.
ew, gross.
So,
It's bad enough they smelled that bad. Now I taste them. Ew.
but the kids and the women are able to escape. The fighting is still going on throughout the rest of the village. The rest of the guardsmen have engaged. And he looks at Sarantius and says, make sure they make it to the next village.
Absolutely.
And he goes and charges off to assist the chieftain.
Always such an asshole.
I just kind of stand up and do the wet dog kind of shake, but trying to shake the vampire dust off of me. And I'm like, we should go now. I think we can call home lost.
So are you headed towards the pool?
Yeah,
What are we doing?
since the pathway is open now, essentially.
Okay. Is anybody going to pick up the pendant that fell?
I learned my lesson last time.
I'll pick it up.
I'm not worried about it.
I mean, I'm sure it's important, but
Okay.
I'll take it.
Okay.
And so where are we headed?
I guess to the
To the
next
pool?
village. Well, to the pool, and then into the Umbra, and then to the next village.
Okay, so as you get to the pool, is anybody going to take one last look back towards home?
I'm not.
will. I
It
mean,
never was really my home, so I will not.
my
I
dad's
just don't
done
wanna see.
fighting, so
So you turn back and look,
I regret this.
and you see the jester sitting on a body. And reach down and twist and pull off the head and just start looking at it. And then he looks at you and then turns the head to where he looks at you and just starts wagging it back and forth. And then he waves. Ta! See you soon.
And all I just do is I just whisper, I'm like, and hopefully next time it'll be your grave. And I go and I head towards the pool and get ready to enter into the Umbra.
Can I just shoot an arrow at him for the fun of it?
What, just one last fuck you?
Yeah, right in his eye.
I mean, I think the eye's a called shot, so it's going to be higher
I mean,
difficulty.
yeah, you can try it though. I mean, hell, what's the worst that can happen? You miss.
Exactly.
don't ever say that in these kind of games. What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's the worst that could happen. I'm pretty sure he just took my father's head and turned and looked at me and like looked back at him and is having a conversation with the head. Fucking
Yeah.
crazy vampires.
Is that a dexterity and archery?
Yeah.
Yes, there is.
I
For
also
that
want
distance,
to
wouldn't it be strength?
No, it's always dex and archery. to
Always
hit.
dex.
Can I light it on fire as well?
Nope, too late.
Oh,
Does the headset taste what? Good?
Uh, I typed that. I typed that wrong every time. He just kind of moves slightly to the side as it sails past, and just kind of wags his finger.
I just grab the Inquisitor's arm and say, let's go.
And you're entering the Umbra.
Yeah. Taking him with me.
And,
I want to chop his head off.
and you enter into the Umbra just as the village is engulfed in flame. And I think that's what we'll call it for today.
Well, that's depressing.
Just a little.
Need a drink.
Oh, God.
Is there a tavern in the Umbra?
There might be, but I'm not sure we want to go there.
I mean, do you want to do how much do you want to deal with the fair folk?
That's a really good point, actually.
We're going to end up on some crazy acid trip, you know.
Hey, I've lived with Batty. That's my life. Wow, that's depressing.
Wow, that was whoa. All the death. That was a lot of death. God damn.
So.
Well, thank you all so much for joining us for this episode of Hunter's Moon. And yeah. Hey Monk, tell all the wonderful people where they can find you. And about your
I'm the weirdo, but I'm here on Twitch. It's Monk13 or Zeal's Discord. You can always find me around one of those two places. Thanks, guys.
And Ginger.
Hi, I'm the Ginger Snap 89. I played Cabela. You can find me on the link in the chat.
And Amy.
Hey, I'm Mouthy Wench. I stream only on the weekends, but I'm usually gaming every night. And like a monk, you can find me in the Zeal Discord.
James.
I'm RedHawk6069. My link is in the chat, and yeah, I am also in the Discord. Sometimes.
Papa.
I'm Papa Bear 1015. I've been the GM and the Harbinger of Death today. You can find me at the link. You can also find me in the Witchy Corner or in Zeal's Discord. Usually gaming when I'm not working on schoolwork or busy building huge air conditioners. But yeah.
And I am Pagan. You can find me in Zeal, and you can also find me at the link. You can find me in the Witchy Corner as well. If you guys missed last week's episode, you can find it on YouTube. I do not have the link pulled up. I will make some commands.
I've got it right here. Hold on.
Hold on. Amy's got it.
I have it in my saves.
She's on this. I should be on this considering I'm the one that put it up. And you might hear a pit bull rummaging around behind me. She's kind of...
Oops.
Hi. Can you sit down, please?
Come on. Give me the link. There we go. There we go.
Yes.
Oops.
So if you missed the first episode, you can check it out at the link that she's about to post right there. And if you guys wait a day or two, we'll have tonight's episode up on YouTube as well. Thank you again so much for joining us. Sit tight, we're gonna raid somebody, and I will see you guys for my stream on Tuesday. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you also next week for more Hunter's Moon. If you guys will mute for a minute. Do you have somebody in mind, Ginger?
Babs is live.